Today on Hello Nintendo, we're going to talk Splatoon and get all inky. Illumination is bringing a Mario film to the big screen. I'm hoping there won't be minions. Can't be any worse than rabbits, though. We also talk Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the game that's going to be around forever, and Black Friday sales. Hopefully everyone survives. All that and more on Hello Nintendo. Hello everyone, thanks for joining us today. I'm your host Matt, aka Trainass, and it's going to be a little different today. Coming back, it's been a while, we've got Reese, aka Delicious Cheese. Thanks for coming, and on short notice too.
Hey man, no problem. It's great to be here. Yeah, short notice, by the way, anyone for listening, is like about 20 seconds ago when he was like, there's no one else, get on the pod.
It's either do it myself or frantically try to find somebody to do this, and nobody wants to hear me just ramble for like a half hour.
I don't know, I'd listen to that. but yeah, I haven't been here since episode 3, I think.
Something like that, yeah. And it's even been longer since you and I have been on a pod. It was one of the early Xbox One Party Chat episodes that I was on.
I keep trying to get you to come on, but it's just always an issue of those pesky time zones.
Yeah. Because I'm working when you guys end up recording. So maybe next time I'll try and get my lunch scheduled, and I'll join you guys on the pod.
That would be great. But it is nice to actually be able to come on here and talk about Nintendo without getting some scathing remarks from my fellow co-podders. My fellow co-hosts, that was the word I was struggling with.
They're just jealous of all the Nintendo.
They are.
Yeah. So before we get going, let's see what we've been playing this past week. Reese, what have you been up to?
So I actually haven't played any Nintendo this week. I am waiting for Xenoblade. Waiting very, very much, very enthusiastically for that, I should say. I will be streaming that actually on Mixer. I plan to stream the whole game through if anyone is interested.
Nice.
But yeah, it should be fun. Hopefully it's not too much of Waifu Simulator Blade 2, but we'll see. We'll push through. But I have been playing a whole lot of Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm still trying to finish that. That game is huge.
And I hear it looks amazing too.
Yeah, it is, I think, the best looking game that's around right now. At least it has the best looking rocks. I'm always impressed by the rocks. The texture work is just spectacular, honestly. And I also, last night I played some Trackmania Turbo, which I think is a game that desperately needs to come to the Switch.
Oh yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know, Trackmania Turbo is a game by Ubisoft, and basically it's calling it a racing game would kind of be doing... Can you hear that?
Just barely hear it.
My drying machine is singing a song. It's going to take a second.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's your fancy combo unit, isn't it?
Yes. It's a washer and a dryer together, and it's one of the best things... Will you shut up? Thank you.
Hey, you're always
it's a washer and a dryer together, and it's one of the best things I've ever bought. Seriously, you just throw the clothes in and press a button, and you come back a few hours later after it sings for 20 minutes, and it's ready. Why have I gone my whole life without this? Oh. But anyway, back on topic. For anyone who doesn't know, Trackmania Turbo is like... Basically, calling it a racing game would kind of be doing it a disservice because it's not really like that. It's more like it is a racing game, but it's also a stunt, time trial, puzzle, loop-the-loop, gravity-defying thing. And so basically, the main reason I want it on the Switch is because it's so good for pick up and play and so good for portability. Because what happens is you start a level, and the game loads up in a few seconds, and 3, 2, 1, and normally you get dropped out of a helicopter because that's how all real men should start a race.
Of course.
And you land, and basically you've got a very small section of track to navigate. Some of them can only take like 5 or 6 seconds to get through. Most of them take about, I don't know, 15, 20, maybe even 30 seconds. But essentially, you've got a small section of track with like a loop to loop and maybe some jumps and one mistake and it's all over. And the goal is to get through it and get a high score, get a medal. It's a bit like Trials, that motorbike game that's basically on everything. That also should come to Switch, by the way, guys. Ubisoft, seriously, get on that. And yeah, so you've got these little bursts of fun that you can play, and it takes like 1 minute max to be done with a course. Like how awesome would that be to take with you on the bus? Because I've always thought that the one thing that a lot of mobile games get right is that you can have some fun in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because that is like key to being really everyday portable. I mean, if you're going on a flight, you want to take Zelda with you so you can play for 3 hours, the whole way through. But if you're taking your Switch on the bus, you can't exactly play Zelda. That's
yeah. It's a little bit
right?
of a big game, yeah.
yeah. So I think this would be perfect. So seriously, Ubisoft, I know you're not listening to this podcast, but just in case, get on that. Yeah. That I would really love to see that on the Switch. What have you been playing?
I have been playing LA Noire. Pick that up. It's
I'm guessing on the Switch, right?
Actually, both Switch and Xbox One.
Have you been comparing, or?
Yeah, I kind of did it because I just bought a brand new 4K TV. I finally entered that world, and
welcome, my son.
Oh my God, the vision! I'm at a loss for words at how beautiful everything looks.
How about that HDR though?
Oh. I've been playing the Insects demo on my Xbox One for my kids, and just the way that looks alone is awesome.
So, I'm trying to think of good examples of HDR. Do you own Forza Horizon 3?
I do. I bought it for my birthday last June.
That is a great example of HDR. Like I can take or leave 4K resolution, but HDR is where it's at.
Yeah.
I would love to see HDR on the Switch. Actually, it looks so good.
I'll have to give that a go because I've got the Hot Wheels pack as well for that. So I'll give that a spin. I was playing LA Noire, and I own it on 360, and I've almost completed the game on 360. So pretty much all of these, all the investigations and everything it's like old hat. So I remember what I'm going through, but I'm actually quite surprised at how good it looks on the Switch. In handheld, things pop in as you're driving or running, and there's a little bit of frame rate when when the scenery gets big, but otherwise it looks awesome.
Really?
I'm quite impressed with how it looks, and
that's cool.
So it's pretty much been burning through my battery on that, and then Xbox, I finished Quantum Break, which was an amazing game. The story was
finally,
the story was just so good. I didn't want to stop playing it.
Except for the final boss.
Oh, that final boss was such a pain. Jesus.
We don't talk about that.
That was a load.
Anyone who wants to hear Matt at his absolute best and on his podcasting debut needs to head over to our Xbox One subreddit's podcast, Party Chat, and go to episode 2. Because on episode 2, it was the same time that Quantum Break launched, and we had a cool giveaway with Xbox UK. We had a signed copy of the game, signed by Sean Ashmore, who was the main character of the game. And we made to enter the competition, we made the people on the subreddit write fan fiction for the game. They had to write a fan fiction script, and the winner was the most insane script ever. It starred Jackie Chan, and it starred
oh God, who all was in there?
Black Morpheus.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Black Morpheus. Scottish Morpheus.
Scottish Morpheus. That's who it was. Yeah.
There was just so many ridiculous characters, and Matt made his debut. Matt, you want to tell everyone who you played?
Can
you even remember?
No, it's wasn't she? I can't even remember the name. I can't remember the actress's name. Wasn't she in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie recently?
Was it Kate Beckinsale?
That was it? Yes, I think it was. I think it was Kate Beckinsale. But I did it as Monty Python, like the Monty Python female impression.
You're a beautiful sounding woman, Matt.
Yes.
Don't put yourself down.
I watched so much Python just to be able to get the accent. the tone and the accent right. It was
for 2 lines.
oh, it's been so long. I honestly don't.
You should go back and listen
I
again.
should,
It's
but I mean,
hilarious.
anytime it does come up every once in a while, I'll go and listen to it, and I'm in tears from laughing so hard. It was such a good episode, and it was so fun to do as well. It was a lot
we should
of
maybe
fun.
do more of that.
I think so. Kind of get to have a little bit of fun.
We should do a Nintendo themed one. You'd have someone do Mario. It's a me, and
Yeah.
it'll be Luigi time. There's so many great Nintendo characters to rip off.
Oh yeah.
I mean, faithfully recreate.
Yes. Yeah. Just so glad I'm kind of done Quantum Break. I'm gonna dig into Recore, and probably after this Splatoon update, which we're going to talk about soon, probably resume playing some Splatoon. It's been a little while since I've got my hands on that. So
Yeah, I haven't played it since I think the third or fourth Splatfest.
yeah,
Mario Odyssey happened, and I basically
Oh.
just threw all of my old Nintendo games in the garbage. It's like, oh, won't be needing these anymore.
pretty much, yeah.
I just played Mario Odyssey, and now that I'm done with that, I'm just waiting for Xenoblade. So yeah.
Now imagine Mario Odyssey in HDR and 4K.
Oh, I mean, it already looks good
Uh-huh.
as it is, So that's actually, I'd love to see Zelda in
Yes.
4K HDR because it's so colorful.
Oh yeah.
And it's got like those epic sunrises and sunsets, and that's really when the HDR pops out when you've got this natural light.
Maybe we'll see a new dock that can bring 4K and HDR to the Switch.
That would be interesting. I don't know if it's possible, but it would be awesome if it would be. I mean, you don't play Nintendo games for the graphics. No one ever has.
No.
But HDR just looks so good. For anyone who doesn't know, HDR is high dynamic range, and it's like a new way of rendering colors on your TV, especially things like natural light and blacks and oranges, and it just makes colors look amazing. And I can't actually show it to anybody because if I take a picture in HDR and I put it on my computer and you look at it on a computer screen without HDR, you can't actually see. So it's one of those things you actually have to see to believe.
Yeah. Yeah, but once you start playing something or watching anything that's got HDR, it's stuff that doesn't use it just kind of doesn't. Something looks off.
It looks kind of washed out
A little bit, yeah.
Gray. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
It's hard to go back.
Even
Yeah,
movies,
Yeah.
that so.
And the Nintendo games are always so colorful. I would just love. I mean, Yoshi's Woolly World would look so amazing in HDR. All them bright colors. I'm so looking forward to the next Yoshi game. By the way, that's like the top of my wish list.
Yes, yeah. Woolly's World is good. I like playing that with my 5-year-old. Yeah. Well, shall we get into a little bit of news?
I think we should. I should definitely stop sidetracking us. Sorry, everybody. This is what I do, okay? They restrain me on the other podcast. No one's here to stop me now.
It's because it's just you and me, so we're free. We're free and clear. So, Nintendo news. So the first news topic that we've got here is a Splatoon 2 2.0 update. Includes some major minor changes that are going to affect the game.
Stop. Major, minor?
Major and minor. It's got some major and minor changes that are gonna affect the game. A few things: the level cap has gone from 50 to infinity, so you can just
And
keep
beyond?
leveling up forever. There's a new map called the Mako Mart. Salmon Run has also received a new map, the Salmon Smokeyard. Balance changes and bug fixes, Nintendo's typical, other stability changes as well. And you can now, which I know I saw, especially on Twitter, I saw a lot of people were really happy about this. You can change weapons and clothing in between matches.
Finally! Why? That was my biggest... so many times I had to back out from an excellent team.
Yes.
Like I've dominated 6 matches in a row with a perfect team. We're so in sync. We don't even need voice chat. We're just working together perfectly. And I really want to change my weapon, but I can't because if I back out,
You lose everything.
it's all over.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
so
finally.
long time coming.
But still no salmon run lifting of restrictions though.
Doesn't appear to be. No.
That's the only thing I still would like to see for them to actually lift the restrictions on salmon run. I think that's completely arbitrary.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's also looks like a 2.1 update coming in December. So, well, at some point in December. We don't. I don't think we've got a date here. There's going to be a new mode called Clam Blitz. So there's 100 clams scattered around the map, and you've got to try and put those into the opponent's goal. The goal can only be accessed by throwing a giant clam, or a football, I guess we can call it that, which you get after grabbing 10 clams. So every 10 clams, you get to try and score a goal. So that's coming in December. That sounds like an interesting...
That sounds hilarious. I mean, and there's a whole, like, just thinking about it now, there's a whole host of weapons that were, like, they had, for example, take the umbrella. Now, it's okay as a shotgun, and it works pretty well. I did pretty well with the umbrella, but I almost never used its defensive ability where you could pop open the umbrella. Almost never used it.
Yeah.
I used it more of like a sneak attack weapon. I'd sneak up behind someone and blast them, and then jump into the ink and run away.
That's so much fun.
A bit like you use the ink brush. Actually, I used it almost exactly the same way. So now, if we're playing a game like this, you need a goalie, right? You need someone to play defense to sort of stop these enemy teammates from getting goals. So the umbrella would suddenly come into its own just for that alone. And that's just one example. So I think this would actually really change the dynamics of how people play Splatoon 2. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. My favorite one was always the paint roller, just because I like steamrolling. But
the paint roller is just so fun to use. Like, you don't even... It's just like... It's like the Zen. Like, you're like, all right, I'm just going to roll on the ground and I don't
you
care.
Just crush everything that's in your path.
Yeah. And it's impossible to do badly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can be using any other gun, and for example, you're one-on-one with someone and you just completely screw up and miss, and you're like, oh, I'm such an idiot. Why did I do that? I should have won. But with the steamroller, you're always winning. You're always doing exactly what you need to be, and that's just moving forward and painting the floor.
Exactly.
It's just a really fun weapon to use.
Yeah. So, one thing that I haven't actually tried a whole lot of is the salmon run.
Well, me too. I've tried a bit with some of our fellow moderators, actually. But the problem is it's limited in times when you can and can't use it. So, finding a time when all of the Nintendo mods have time to get together.
Yeah.
It's hard enough finding time to get together and podcast. And then having that time also line up with Salmon Run, it's like, it's only happened once.
Yeah.
I would love to have played it more, but I've played enough cooperative multiplayer games in my life to know that playing a game like Salmon Run solo is... Like, I should just go and hang myself already and stop wasting time, because
it's not impossible.
That's just the worst. I don't know if it's impossible. It's just always frustrating, especially because you can't chat. Like, if there was voice chat, you could at least make it a bit easier.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And at least now on the Nintendo app, your phone can actually go to sleep, and you can still use it.
Yeah, that's good.
Speaking of chat. Still no console chat though.
We'll get there one day. Yeah. Nintendo moves slowly. We just got Hulu, so Netflix and YouTube are coming, baby. They're coming.
It's true, and we also have USB audio now, so that's one.
Yeah.
We're one step closer. So
now all I need is a browser, and I can just throw my tablet in the garbage and just take my Switch with me everywhere.
It's a good idea.
I'm not going to throw anything in the garbage, but I would not need to take anything else with me. I'd have basically everything I need for a short business trip or whatever, where I would normally take my Switch and my tablet. I could just take the tablet. The Switch.
Your Finnish bus rides where you're in your own little bubble and don't talk or look at anybody as well.
You're damn right. And you don't sit next to anyone either. That's just wrong. That's really rude. Okay, seriously. The worst possible thing that can happen is when you come onto the bus, and every single like set of 2 seats has one person against the window, so you have to sit next to someone.
I would
You have
still
to be
stand.
the first person to sit next. Many people do.
Oh yeah.
Many people choose to stand in that situation.
Oh yeah.
But then the next person, and the thing is, when you stand, people tend to stand in the middle of the bus
Yes.
instead of going all the way to the back.
Yeah.
So the next person who gets on suddenly isn't able to walk any further than the entrance because the other person is occupying half the bus by standing
Yeah.
in the middle.
Sometimes I am that person.
These are very Scandinavian problems. How big is the personal space bubble of a Canadian?
I don't know. I like if I've got somebody standing right next to me, like when I was waiting in line for the Super NES, I had somebody, one person, normal adult size away from me, and I was comfortable. But any closer than that, and it's like starts to get feel a little awkward.
I still haven't played the SNES Mini, or the NES Mini. Both of them I would love to get, but they're so expensive in Finland, and it's just it's so hard to justify paying that much money. It really hurts, but I really want one.
Yeah, they're nice. It's a nice nostalgia machine.
Yeah, I'll wait for them to drop in price. Although the NES Mini hasn't actually done that in a year, so I might be waiting a while.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
But still, I'm really looking forward to playing one.
Well, let's go to our next topic. Mario is hitting the big screen again. Hopefully, Again, yes. For those of you that don't.
But why? The first movie was perfect. Like
It was.
they made it, and it was like, okay, this is obviously the greatest film known to man. We can stop now.
I know.
Right?
Everything. Yes. How can you improve upon perfection?
I mean, I always knew that when I was a kid playing the Nintendo, when I was playing Mario, I always knew that I was actually looking at a post-apocalyptic cyberpunk reality, alternate dimension full of like gothic cyberpunk people who transform into lizards. I always knew that.
Always, yeah.
It makes such sense. I don't know what other people's problem was.
I don't know.
And of course, I knew they always listened to Roxette as well.
Yep.
That was like the only, this, you can clearly hear the Mario theme is actually just a Roxette song.
Yeah.
Anybody under 30 is like, what?
Oh man. Yeah. My kids actually quite like the Super Mario movie. So I'll throw
It's
it on.
great.
It is.
I mean, it's awful. I'll be honest. It's terrible, but it's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
It's like watching the very first Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's so bad, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, Illumination, who, if you are unfamiliar with that studio, they've made the Minions and the Despicable Me films. They did Secret Life of Pets as well. They're the ones that are going to be making the Mario movie. So
it's going to be CG.
Yeah, it's going to be CG. So, which means they're going to have a lot more freedom. They're going to be able to do a lot more with the film than if it was, real life. Again, humans doing it. Yeah. What do you think? Like, what do you think of another Mario film?
Well, I mean, I sort of jumped the gun a little bit there. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm very enthusiastic about the Mario films, but if I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think it's necessary. But I mean, it could be entertaining, especially if they're going to make it animated.
Mm-hmm.
This means that they're going to be able to stick to the source material. They can do whatever they want. It'll be very child friendly. The only issue, of course, is that Mario doesn't talk much. No one in the games talks too much.
True.
So, I mean, it's me for 1.5 hours. I talk to you like this. That could get old really fast.
Well, if you look at the Mario cartoon, it's back from the 80s. Super Mario Super. So that was done well and.
Yeah, I was actually going to use that as my example of how it can be done right.
Perfect.
I used to love that show as a kid. But yeah, so it could be good. I mean, like I said, they already created the perfect film, so they can't make live action anymore. It's just not on the cards. So an animated film was the only option left to them, and I think it's actually probably the best way forward. I mean, a lot of things you could make. For example, a Zelda movie. It would have to be animated. In fact, I think Zelda would be best as like after playing Breath of the Wild. I want Studio Ghibli to make a Zelda cartoon. That would be to die for. And yeah, so I think this is probably the best way that they could do this. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm actually really curious if this is going to be an original story, like the Super Mario Bros. Movie was, or if they're going...
Original story. I'm like doing finger quotes. You can't see me, but holy crap.
Or if they're going to take inspiration from one of the existing games, because, I mean, they've got a lot going on. It could be inspired by Mario 64. It could be inspired by the North American Mario 2. You know, there's a lot for them to work with. So I'm actually really curious what kind of story it's going to be.
Well, I think I can take a crack at it.
Okay.
I get the feeling that Bowser, right?
Yeah.
He's going to show up right when Mario doesn't expect it, and the princess is going to be there, right? Right. Get this.
I think you're onto something here.
Yeah. Right. And I think Bowser is going to kidnap the princess. Just hold on here. Seriously, I know I'm talking crazy.
Yeah.
He's going to kidnap the princess, and Mario is actually going to have to go and rescue her from Bowser.
You know what? I think you're onto something. I think this is...
I mean, there's not going to be any cyberpunk alternate realities. There's not going to be a dance section in the middle where everyone's heads spin around. That's not going to happen. I'm sure of it.
No, I think you're onto something, and I'm just sending you a link in the chat because you were mentioning Legend of Zelda and Studio Ghibli, and I remember seeing these. I think you'll like those. They're Breath of the Wild posters done in the style of Studio Ghibli.
Oh, well, when I saw Breath of the Wild for the first time, I was like, it's like I'm playing a Ghibli film.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it felt like.
Yeah. But I'm cautiously optimistic about the Mario movie. I will absolutely go see it, either in theaters with my kids or I'll get it and watch it at home. But I mean, it's not. We've already seen what Bowser looks like on the big screen. If you remember,
Dennis Hopper
drawing so many blanks. No, not not that one.
I'm not gonna let it go.
No, what was? Oh, jeez.
Bowser on the big screen?
Yeah. What was that movie that takes place in the arcades?
Oh, Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph. That's right. In the evil villain support group, Bowser was in there. So I mean,
they actually could make a film in the style of Wreck-It Ralph with Mario as well. That would work.
Yeah.
That could work.
The Bowser Tale.
The only other movie I know of that features Mario is The Wizard.
And was Mario in Pixels? I know DK was. There's a
Pac-Man was. I haven't seen it. I only saw the trailers. So.
Oh, okay. It's okay. Pixels was okay.
Okay. Well, yeah. I just see Adam Sandler movie, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go over here now.
Yeah. it was okay. I mean, there's worse films, especially worse Adam Sandler films out there, but.
That's good to know. Maybe I'll give it a try. It is on Netflix, so.
Perfect. That means you don't have to really spend any money on it. That's the way I see it. So hopefully we'll hear some more about this upcoming Mario movie. Maybe we'll get a teaser or something like that at E3 next year. It'd be kind of interesting. And who knows? There could even be a video game tie-in because it is a Nintendo franchise, so we could have some sort of tie-in that way. So moving on, we're going to go to some subreddit topics. We'll start off with the Mario Kart battle modes. Mario Kart battle modes. So this was inspired by user 33 Wolverine on the subreddit. Reese, what was your favorite, or did you ever play much of the battle modes in any of the Mario Kart games? Not just 8, but in any of them. Did you ever play?
Yes. Many friendships were born and lost on Mario 64's battle modes.
Uh,
But even before then, I played the crap out um, of of battle mode in the original Mario Kart on the SNES. I didn't have the game, and in fact, at this point in my life, I didn't even have a Super Nintendo. But my parents are divorced, and my stepsister, who lives with my mother, had a Super Nintendo. And so every time I would go to visit my mom, I would beg her to take me to the nearest Blockbuster. Anyone under 30 is also wondering what one of those is. And we would, it wasn't even Blockbuster, it's in Finland. I would rent Mario Kart and bring it back. And me and her would just play for hours and hours and hours in the battle mode, just tearing each other apart. So, and then of course, when I went to high school, you have all your friends over for like a whole weekend sleepover event, and you stay up all night playing GoldenEye
oh yeah.
and Turok and of course Mario Kart 64, and battle mode in that was just amazing. So 64 is easily my favorite. I think that Double Dash is a really great Mario Kart, but I think the most fun I've had in a battle mode was easily in 64.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't play battle mode a whole lot in the Super NES Super Mario Kart, just because it was one-on-one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mario 64, that one was always I like and it's my nostalgia talking, but I Super Mario Kart is one of my favorite Mario Kart games, but the battle modes in Mario 64, like you were saying, are some of the best. And yeah. I remember, just like you, back in high school, GoldenEye and Mario Kart and everything with with my friends and stuff. So
it was just too good. I mean, I think this is going to sound like blasphemy, but I actually think that Crash Team Racing is a better kart racer than Mario's Kart 64. But the battle mode in Mario Kart 64 is just unbeatable. The match, like the maps were so simple, but so well designed that you could have all these layers of strategy, and you could team up temporarily, and then of course these alliances were made and broken within seconds.
Exactly,
and of course, even if you teamed up together, once you took out the other two guys, there could only be one. So you had the Highlander, the other guy, and people would like wait for the correct moment, like so.
Yeah, and that was
curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal,
And that was one of the things that I liked what Nintendo did in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, is they brought back that type of battle mode. Because Mario Kart 8, let's be honest, Mario Kart 8's battles were garbage, because everybody was just on the regular tracks.
They were garbage that was on fire, and the fire was made of AIDS. Like, that's how bad it was. It was just the worst.
Yeah, and so it's nice to kind of see that, and I think they realized. Now some people have said that they were expecting all of those proper battle modes to eventually come to the Wii U as a form of another DLC, but no, I'm glad though that we've got some the proper battle modes back. I think I played the battle modes more than I played the regular game after I got it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same. I played Mario Kart 8 to death on the Wii U, and I had to really correct myself there, the Wii U. And so I didn't really want to play the game again on the Switch, but battle mode was what actually made me buy it again. Not the ability to play Mario Kart on the go. Like, I don't need that. It was battle mode that made me shell out the money.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm the same. That's I've played more of battle mode than anything.
Which is your favorite battle mode in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
I don't know. I mean, I prefer it vanilla, like as pure as possible. If you know what I mean. Like the ones I really don't like the ones where you have to collect coins. That's lame. But and the other ones are fun. They add a lot of they elect a lot of swearing basically from a crowd, which is always good.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I just like the purity of the combat of the most simple mode, if that makes sense. Kind of like if I play Worms, I like to keep Worms simple. Like I don't like all the ridiculous super weapons. I like it as pure as possible.
Yeah. I liked the cops versus robbers or racers mode.
Yeah,
I kind of like that
it's
one.
Fun.
That seemed, because you still have the normal battle mode, but then you've also got you've got to worry about if one of your guys gets captured and now you're running out of people. You got to try and keep all your teammates around. So I kind of like that was one of my favorite ones.
It was like a Mario Kart version of Halo Zombies.
Right.
When you die, you switch teams.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So that was one of my favorite ones. So, would there be any specific battle? Like, if you could come up with your perfect battle mode for the next Mario Kart game, what would be in there? What do you think would be in that if you had to?
Well, like I said, I like it, vanilla.
Right.
But for me, I would concentrate on making the stages good, because the thing that made Mario Kart 64 so great was the stages, and a really important thing in a battle mode is to have not what I'd call a choke point, but like a focus point, where basically everybody has to go to create this carnage, whether it be like a giant. I think one of the levels in 64 had like a sort of pyramid in the center, and or a big. Did you ever play Destruction Derby 2 on the PlayStation 1?
I think I might have, or maybe I'm thinking Vigilante 8.
No, not V8, but Destruction Derby. And it had a really well-designed level, and it was like a destruction bowl. But in the center of the bowl was a huge jump. So at the beginning, everybody just came down the sides of the bowl and then went off the jump because it was a 360 jump, and they all just plowed into each other in the air. And that sounds stupid, but it was hilarious.
So awesome.
And yeah, awesome, obviously. And stuff like that, I think, is way more important than a gimmick. Of course, protect the leader is always fun, but you need to have more than 4 players for that. You can't have 2v2.
Right.
That would require at least 3v3 or more.
I think it'd even be better if, even on a 4 or 5 versus 5, because then...
Yeah, that would be way better. I think 4v4 or 5v5, or even... Yeah, that would be ideal, I think. You don't want too many carts on the track.
No.
And maybe I think I would really like to see a Mario Kart version of Rocket League's soccer.
Ooh.
Like Mario Kart. Because, Rocket League has the option to turn on power-ups, which basically turns it into Super Mario Kart.
Yeah.
But I would like to see Mario Kart actually do that. That would be great, I think.
That'd be interesting to see what they could do with that. Yeah. You kind of took.
What about you?
You kind of took the.
Or did I take the wind out of your sails?
A little bit, yeah, with the the protect the president or the leader type of track, but it's sort of like a capture the flag, or like a King of the Hill type of.
King of the Hill would be fun,
yeah.
Especially if you had a level with a really high hill.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to put some effort into getting up to the top.
Yeah, if you could slowly make it up there on your own, or you could the mushroom or the star would really get you up there. But kind of and then take your idea about having a choke point. So if you did say a capture the flag type of deal with a choke point in the middle, that kind of a track would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, it would be awesome, I think.
Yeah, the King of the Hill, I think would be good. Those are always, and they're challenging too, and frustrating.
Yeah. Okay, so are we talking traditional King of the Hill, one hill, and when you're in the top, you got the time ticking up, and the person at the end with the most time on the hill wins, or do we want like a Gears of War style King of the Hill, where the hill shifts places randomly every few minutes?
where it shifts, where it moves. Once
You prefer a shifting hill?
Yeah, where if you can hold the hill for say 1 minute or something like that, or 30 seconds, and then it moves to another spot. And then
Yeah.
whoever holds.
I think in Gears, like each ring has like a time of, say, I don't know, let's say 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And if I stand in there for 10 seconds, then get shot, and then that's 10 seconds off its timer, and then someone else stands in there for 5, they get shot, that means it's only got 15 seconds left. And once the 30 seconds is up, like the total of time that anyone can possibly earn on this one particular ring, then it moves.
Yes, that's a good idea. I like that. Yes. That kind of King of the Hill, I think,
because if that doesn't happen, people tend to wait.
Right.
Like the people will memorize the spawn points and be like, I'm just going to wait near the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So having it move, it's like forcing everyone to go there and then only having it move after it reaches a certain amount of time, I think is the best way to do it. But because Please go on.
I was going to say, and it has to be 100% completely random. Like just like an absolutely random calculation. So every time you play is different. Yeah.
Or it could even move in real time, and everyone's chasing it about the map. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, King of the Hill. I think Nintendo needs to bring a King of the Hill to the next Mario Kart. So we got one last topic. Now this one isn't as big in Finland. It's not as big in Canada as it is in the U.S. But Black
Friday.
Black Friday. I think I need another coffee. I think I need some more of your coffee, Reese.
It's not my coffee anymore.
Oh yeah. Well, I need more of that coffee.
Yes, you do.
The Black Friday fever. So based on when we're recording, yesterday was Black Friday down in the States, and retailers will have all kinds of weird sales and deals. People fight over the most trivial things. It's retailers are trying to get it big up in Canada. Boxing Week is still our biggest thing. Finland doesn't really have it too much. Doesn't Black Friday have a completely different meaning over there?
No, I mean...
Or am I thinking of another place?
No, Black Friday is like nothing here. But I would say in the last 3 years, it started to appear just as an excuse to have sales because, big companies love sales. There's actually a picture that was trending on Reddit today. And it was like, the caption was chaos at Finnish Black Friday. And it was a video of... maybe 20 people, very very slowly and calmly shuffling single file into a store, and the comments were full of all this hilarious. Did you call the police? Like, what? There's rioting on the streets.
And that personal bubble, those people were so close to each other. I can only imagine how uncomfortable that made everybody in line.
And one guy slightly cut in, and they're like, I hope everyone took his name. But yeah, I mean, I actually was out shopping today, and I saw, strangely enough, in stores, they have the what's the word? The posters. And it's not Black Friday, it's Black Weekend, and they've written it in English. For some reason.
Huh.
It's not Musta Perjantai, which is Black Friday in Finnish. It's just Black Friday or Black Weekend in English on the thing. So that's how disconnected Finland is from Black Friday. They don't even bother to translate it. They just, here's an American thing. Look, it's even in Americanese,
Yeah.
So we really don't understand Black Friday at all. But I did go to the store to see what was selling, and unfortunately, what I wanted was UHD Blu-rays because they're too expensive. I wanted some, and they didn't have any for any decent prices, so I didn't get any.
Oh.
What about you?
My new TV.
That was a Black Friday deal.
Yeah, Black Friday deal I bought on Thursday.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's like a sort of dark gray Thursday.
Yeah. Best Buy had a bunch of their Black Friday deals early, so yeah. Thursday I picked up the TV, and then yesterday I got a couple UHD Blu-rays as well. The new Pirates movie and Secret Life of Pets. and then I've got a bunch more coming to me on Amazon from Amazon.
I hope you ordered Planet Earth 2.
No, but it's on Netflix, so I have been watching that on Netflix.
Because
oh my god!
apparently Planet Earth 2 is the best benchmark for 4K UHD.
Oh, I can believe it. I was just, even my kids were, when we watched the first episode last night, Islands, and my oldest was like, "Is that real? Is that real?" Like, just with how smooth and clear and bright and vivid the picture was. It was, yeah, and it was so good.
And then you've got Anthony Hopkins' voice telling you about all the things in the world.
David Attenborough.
Wait, who did I say?
Anthony
I said Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins. We don't have Hannibal Lecter narrating.
British people are all the same. I meant Sir David Attenborough.
Oh, we're going to get a lot of hate mail for that one, I think.
Oh, I've gone and messed it up. See here, the subreddit moderator as he opens his mouth and shoves in his own foot.
Yeah, it's Planet Earth 2 looks unbelievable. So I think tonight is going to be Pirates of the Caribbean. Haven't seen
good.
So, and then actually I'm looking forward to my UHD copy of Blade Runner.
Ah,
Blade
very
Runner
good.
complete.
The final cut?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
I'm actually looking forward to my UHD cut of Blade Runner 2049. I'm so hyped for that, to see it again.
I still need to see it, so it'll be.
It is so good.
UHD will be my first time seeing it.
Oh, it'll be so good on UHD because of the colors.
Yes.
Blacks and pinks and greens and
I've painstakingly calibrated my TV as well. So
good.
That's something that I try and do is to calibrate it so that you get the best picture. Anytime you get a new TV.
Yes.
Calibrate.
Did you get anything Nintendo related? Sorry, I just talked over you.
No, that's okay. No, I didn't. Nintendo, there wasn't really a whole lot for Black Friday sales that I saw Nintendo-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, I already have the Switch. I've already got my NES and Super NES Classic. I tend to go digital a lot of times for games, so...
And they didn't have very good deals,
No.
I have to say. The Xbox One deals were out of control. They were off the chain.
I spent so
Seriously.
much money on those.
But,
yeah,
I'm like I said before, I'm only really looking forward to... Because, so this is interesting thing about the Switch, right? You know, Nintendo has released basically one major game every month since the Switch has come out, which is great if you're a Switch owner, right? But I buy it when it first comes out because, yeah, Nintendo game, woo! So I pre-order it, I buy it, I get it on launch day, and I play it, and I'm done in a week or two. And then I spend the next... Well, maybe basically the last week of the month not playing my Switch at all, waiting for the next the next game to come out. So now I'm in the waiting for Xenoblade phase. And after what's coming out in January, do you know? See, this is an issue for me, because if there's nothing coming out in January, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not sure, but this is why you need to get even like some of the smaller games. So to tide you over. And that's kind of what I do.
The problem is I bought basically all of the indies that are coming out on the Switch already on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
And there's a few indies that are exclusive, and I own them all. I got Snipper Clips.
Yep.
I got Fast Racing, Fast RMX, I should say.
Yep.
I got Golf Story.
Yes, you were raving about that.
Yeah, it's good. I even wrote a review about it. I had a good time. It annoyed me in some ways, but it's just so charming that it was so good. It was a good price, actually. Probably the best value for money that you get when it comes to indies on the Switch. I was having an argument with some of my fellow moderators today that Nintendo Switch games are overpriced. They just are. It's like the Nintendo tax or whatever you want to call it. I can get a game for a quarter of the price, I understand it. Doom just released on the Switch, and if you want to buy the cartridge, it's $60-70. But it's new and it's on a cartridge, so I understand it. And but I can pick that up on my Xbox One for like $10.
Well, and with it was on sale even for the Black Friday sales as well. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, but Golf Story released cheap and has stayed cheap. And it's actually a pretty meaty game. So that is one of the one of the instances when I actually have to admit that I'm wrong, and that it's really good value for something on the Switch. If you haven't played Golf Story, go and play it. Even if you don't know anything about golf, golf is the thing you spend the least amount of time doing in that game.
Yeah. I quickly looked up, so you've got Lost Sphere is coming out January 23rd. Looks like that's the, and then the rest of them all seem to be Q1 of 2018 for everything else.
I need Kirby and I need Yoshi, and
Yoshi just says 2018, and spring of 2018 is Kirby Star Alliance. I want Octopath Traveler. I cannot wait for Octopath Traveler.
That demo is great. The dialogue is ridiculously bad. I was laughing out loud at how bad it is, but it's beautiful.
I love that art style, that 2D 3D hybrid. It's
legit. That is the best looking retro style graphics game I have ever seen. Like legit. I can't think of another retro pixel game that looks anywhere near as good. I think the only game that I've seen that will come close is that game that was advertised as an Xbox exclusive at E3 last year. Was it The Last Night? Or something like that? It's like set in a cyberpunk Paris.
Okay.
And it has this really amazing looking pixel art aesthetic. And I think that might look good or might look better. Might take the crown. Yeah. But I haven't actually seen the game. It's not out yet. Let me just see if it's called The Last Night. The Last Night game.
Saying Octopath Traveler would benefit from HDR.
Yes, it's The Last Night.
Okay.
But Octopath Traveler just looks amazing. And I'm really, 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 really looking forward to playing that. But yeah, and we've got Pokemon eventually. Mm-hmm. We've got Metroid as a text. Eventually, the word Metroid. It's happening. Look, it's there. The word Metroid. We showed it. But yeah, I'll get through somehow. I survived the end of the Wii U, where we got one game every 6 months. I'll survive this. That was rough, man. That was rough.
Yeah, if you hit up Nintendo's website and you take a look at the coming soon list, it's unbelievable. Like, there's so many games coming out on this platform. Like, it's crazy. It's ridiculous, and it's nice seeing this kind of support again for a Nintendo product.
Yes. In fact, I've spoken to a few developers, even one who has released a game on the Switch, and they all describe to me what they're calling the Switch Gold Rush. In that, especially on Steam, and to a lesser extent PS4. To a lesser extent, again, Xbox One, and then, of course, at the very end of the spectrum, the Switch. Discoverability is a real issue. The market is completely oversaturated on Steam to the point of insanity.
Yeah.
And then on PS4, everything is not equally, but everything is really oversaturated. Then on the Xbox One, we're not oversaturated yet, but there's 500 ID at Xbox titles. That's a lot. 500. So that's still a lot. I think there's maybe 1,000 on the PS4 at a guess. And then, 1,000 released every day on Steam or whatever it is. That's hyperbole, guys. But anyway, there's very, very few games on the Switch, and people buy them because it's so easy to find them. And so everyone is rushing to get their game on the Switch. And because Nintendo fans are so engaged, I guess is the word. The Nintendo fans are way more willing to buy a product on the Nintendo than someone else on another system. So that there is this gold rush of everyone trying to get their game approved. So you can look forward to a really steady set of releases next year, I think.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Well, just even looking on their website, there are 53 games coming soon. There's already 269 titles available.
Yeah. That's crazy.
47 titles that are available for pre-order.
So, real talk, do you think that this will have been the best launch year of a console ever?
I think so.
I think so too. I mean, you've got two games that are actually the highest rated games in history. Breath of the Wild and Mario. Not highest rated as in numbers, but I mean have the most, like, how can I say this in English? Stupid maths in foreign languages. They have the highest like the most amount of perfect scores, basically. Like, so you've got these two games that are like amazing, and then you've got a whole bunch of other games that are great.
Yeah.
And then you've got all these A-list indie titles, Stardew Valley, for example, which is a huge indie darling. The only thing it's missing is Undertale. And it's all in the first year. I can't think of any other console that comes even close to that.
Yeah.
I'm not even close.
Yeah, I agree. You're not going to have to wait too much longer for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, December 1st. So
yeah, so
you got
when's
one more
this
week.
podcast going on?
Probably have it released by Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay, so basically it's coming out about 2 days after this podcast goes live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hope Nintendo doesn't copyright strike my Mixer channel when I start streaming.
Well, we do have some Nintendo people that do actually listen to us. We found out at E3, so.
Oh, that's good. Hi guys, stop doing that. Just stop. just don't. What are you doing?
Well, I think we've kind of talked some of these topics to death, it feels like.
Yeah, sorry, I ramble on.
No, that's okay. It's been good. It's been nice. It's been good. So, but I think that's gonna wrap it up for this episode of Hello Nintendo. Reese, I'd like to thank you again for hanging out with me, especially last minute. It was greatly appreciated.
A pleasure. It's always good to sit here and talk a lot.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Yeah, podcasting. No, but seriously, thanks. It's always fun. It's a pleasure. I really have to come on more often, but it's just, hard with scheduling and everything like that.
Well, where can people find you if they wanted to find you online? Where's some places they can find you?
Find me?
Yes.
Well, of course you can find me on Reddit. I'm delicious_cheese. You can find me deleting your posts and making you really angry on places like rNintendo, Xbox One, and gaming. You can find me on Twitter at deliciouscheese with a Z, not an S, because someone else stole my name. And basically, just search Delicious Cheese on the internet. I'm on Mixer. I'm on Instagram. I'm everywhere. That's where you can find me.
Cool. I'm on Twitter. You can grab me at my Twitter handle at ReggieFizameme, which
nice.
Everybody I even had a couple Xbox people like support and stuff tell me that that's the best Xbox Live name they've come across. So you can get me on Twitter or Xbox Live at ReggieFizameme, and I'm also on Reddit under the handle of Trainass because I can't change it. And that's kind of really my only online presence as of right now.
Neat.
So be sure to tune in to our next episode where Brooks might finally get an answer about where Melee HD is. So we'll see you next time on Hello Nintendo.
Hello, Nintendo!